Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy DJ Fanatic Beats, content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at DJ Fanatic Beats. That's PHANATIC, or Sounds for Producers on Instagram as well. So let's get into it. This is a beat breakdown. It's a pretty dope beat. It's actually one of my most popular beats right now, and it's a recent beat. I took a turn and made something a little different. It's more on the house side, like I don't know, EDM or more like pop beat, and has a nice rhythm to it and some really dope elements. And I thought I'll break it down so that way I can kind of inspire you and give you some tips on what you can do to kind of recreate this or kind of make it your own. Of course, EDM, festival, world music, all that, is like killing the game right now. You should challenge yourself as a producer and try to make things differently and not just always make the same stuff, because you want to push yourself musically, and that creates, makes you more of an asset, with skills, techniques, and experience, and make you more in demand as a producer, because there's companies other than just artists, there's labels that are looking for different sounds, and you can just really go out there and put yourself out there and just progress more in your music career. So hopefully I'll give you some type of inspiration or guidance or something that can take it to the next level. So let's jump into it. The first thing I started out with probably was this random loop sound that I found in my arsenal, and I built around it. But usually I start with track 1, so I think I started here. So let's change the snap to grid, and I might have to cut off the mastering plugins because of the underruns I may get. So I started out with this sound here. And notice already I was like, I'm gonna make like a house beat, and that's the first thing I went for. It was like a kick that had that house sound, just a real short kick with a short transient. See, it's a real short sound, straightforward. I think I did a little EQing on it. Let's see, yeah, just cut a little bit of the highs just to give it that extra, and I increased the sub around 63 hertz just to give it a little more punch. So already I knew what I wanted to do. Sometimes I don't. I'll just start a beat and not even know what genre. But this one I specifically wanted to work on this type of beat because, you definitely want to try something different every now and then. So I think next was the snare. Pretty much, it's on every other, I think on the 2 of the beat. 1, 2, 3, 2. Yeah. So every 2 and 4. Notice the kick rhythm had more of a, every hit on every beat, which like disco back in the day, they called it 4 on the floor, but they just reincarnated and put in EDM and, dance music. So, but notice I have like just a little bit of double ups here and there, things that are a little different. So next was the snare. So check it out. This is what it sounds like. And that snare that I chose is more like a clap snare. And of course I used another snare to tack on top of it. And I chose certain frequencies I wanted to stand out. Up here in the high mids, I kind of wanted that air, more like a clap. I wanted to emphasize a little bit on those type of frequencies. And when you're building beats, you want to pay attention to every sound that you choose and also the frequencies that you include. So it looks like this next snare that I chose was on every other hit. Not every other one, but on the 4th hit of every snare. So check it out. And notice that second snare obviously has like some reverb tail to it. Built into the sound, so I didn't need any reverb. I did like that type of rhythm because it kind of just made people happy, and with reverb and type of dance beats, they kind of go hand in hand, and it gives it another element. and I just emphasized a little bit on the low mids there and frequency wise on the second snare. So the next thing I added actually added it had more instrumentation to it. This is where you start adding your sounds, like what key you going into. This is the first random sample that I found, loop, and I just put it in there, and I don't think I pitched anything. Nope, no pitching. Just saying, yeah, I pitched it down a little bit, and let's copy that value, 200 cents. So I pitched it down 2 half steps. In another video I showed what cents means. Every 100 cents is just moving down to the next note. So I moved it down 2 notes, basically 2 half steps. So here, check it out. This is what it sounds like with it. See, now you're starting to feel it. So that interesting loop that I found, you know, I thought it was kind of cool, and it had like this vibe to it, and it went with the beat really well. So I left it, included it in there. I thought it goes well with it, and it kind of went where I wanted to go with whatever type of beat I wanted to make. And when you're like producing, you don't want to just throw just anything in a beat, because you want to keep that mindset going of what's in your head and what direction you want to take this type of beat. Obviously, like I said before, as soon as I knew right away I wanted to do like a pop house EDM. I don't know what they call it, but it's not really my genre, but I thought it was kind of cool. So next I added, I think it's a hi-hat, so check it out. And notice that hi-hat actually contrasts with the kick drum pattern. It's almost alike, almost alike, but there's some little double ups here and there to kind of emphasize more, and it's not a straight hi-hat. So you got 2 different rhythms going on with the kick and the hi-hat, just to kind of give it some extra funk. So it sounded kind of dope. Next was like, I believe this is just a crash. So instead of using a crash, I use like a sound effect as a crash. So that is another tip, you know, you can do with your beats. You can just use different elements. You can use vocal effects, you can use sound effects, you can use crashes, obviously, you can reverse crashes, you can just take interesting sounds and use them as every 4 beats or 8 beats. You notice pattern 7 is every 4 beats, and I kind of want to keep that energy going, and it looks like I did something else with pattern 8, so let's figure out what that was. So I use a sound effect and a crash, and the crash actually happens every 4 beats, and the sound effect is every 8 beats. It looks like 8 beats. So anyway, check it out. So we got a lot going on already. It's just one what do you call it, loop, and all the rest is percussion elements and a sound effect. So it sounds like a lot more is going on. Only thing you have instrumentation wise is the loop. With the second, what was it? Let me see. Yeah, with the crash, usually what helps me out, or it's called cymbal. Yeah, I didn't do it on this one, so that sound was pretty straightforward. Usually I add a little reverb and stereo separate the reverb so it sounds fuller. So next sound that I added, and y'all know that sample, it's been overused like crazy, but I used it in a different way. You can take samples that are used constantly in other beats or percussion, whatever, and change it. See what I did? I lowered the, let's see, where is that? Pattern 9. So that sound, where are you? I think this is it. Right. So it was already low, Vox. So the pitch was low, and if I found the regular one, I would have lowered it anyway. And what I added as well was the fruity delay, stereo separated ping pong delay mode, and have it fully all the way up for wetness, and it's at 4-second increments. I believe that's seconds. So it's panning left and right just to add some more to it. And notice it's way in the background, so I made sure it's like really low. And it's just a little accent thing. So now here comes some more instrumentation. Pattern 10, I used Nexus. And what sound did I choose? It was in the Fantasy and Dreams pack, and it's a sequence preset called Arpatron. So check it out. Whoops. So that particular sound, I thought it sounded dope with it. It has like this big anthem feel, this festival feel, and notice it's very subtle though, and it's like a really cool melody in the background. So it just is adding to the beat, just giving more energy. This next sound, let's see what it was, and let me play that by itself. Check it out. Now with melodies, you know, they come to me easily because I always have melodies in my head every day, multiple melodies, and it's a blessing. Not everyone has those melodies in their head constantly. So what you can do is just keep messing around with some notes. After you got some things going on, melodies kind of come to you when you're what they call pianists call doodling. That's another word where they're just messing around on the keyboard and figuring out notes that sound good, and you kind of come up with regular melodies that work with it. So next sound I added was, I totally forgot, so let's see what it is. So that sound was a what do you call it? Just a regular pluck that I use, but it has a lot of delay on it and reverb, so you know, it just fills it up a little more. And I believe the last sound I added was the 808. And what did I choose? A regular one? Yeah, I choose, let's see. Yeah, I choose a really dirty 808, and it's kind of long, and I used a fruity fast distortion to give it that extra bite. So this is what the 808 sounds like without it. And I use the bend. You hear the bend? And this is with fruity fast distortion. I really wanted the 808 just nasty and destructive and gross, and it came out really good. I like it. That 808 is crazy. So with the 808, I also, this is how you do bending in FL Studio. You click on the porta and mono and turn up the slide, and it'll bend. And adjust these parameters, you know, to play around with them and kind of see what you come up with. That's a quick way of doing it. Yeah, that was the last sound. So I'm gonna play the intro into the chorus and into some of the verse. Notice throughout the verse there's a few change ups here and there, but this is actually one of my most popular beats currently, and it's doing really well, and I have a lot of people interested in it, and it was a fun beat to make. You know, it's like one of the well, I did house beats before, but nothing like this. So before I forget, also happy Father's Day to the fathers out there, all the fathers taking care of their kids, you know, blessings to you. So I'm not sure when you'll see this video, but happy Father's Day. So let me bring it back, and this is the intro into the verse, into the chorus, and then into the verse. And I did some automation. Let me not forget that part. Let me show you. Here, what did I do here? I did a little glitch effect. Glitch is a plugin. I use it on the master. It's a plugin you can do a lot of really my bad, excuse me. It's a plugin you can do a lot of crazy stuff in, where you manipulate audio. I'm not going to get into every little thing, but I use the preset and change a couple things. And I use it sparingly on the little transition from the intro. Damn. So yeah. So, and then I also used a what do you call it? A parametric EQ too. I used a mix level adjustment automation. What I did with that, let's go on a mixer here. Where are you at? There we go. All I did was use right click on the frequency I wanted to automate, and I cut the lows right before the beat comes in to give it a dramatic effect. So here you go. Let me unmute those and hit play so you get an idea of what's going on. So here it is with the intro and the rest of some of the beat. So there you have it. Hopefully I inspired you or gave you some type of guidance in this video. I thought the beat came out pretty dope. You notice there's not too many elements into it. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, it came out better than I thought it would. I was just experimenting. And sometimes you got to do that as a producer. Put yourself out there and, do things you normally don't do. And you never know what kind of results you end up with or what people would like, to be honest. And try to get out of the same rut of creating the same thing over and over. I mean, it's cool to do what you like sometimes, but sometimes step out a little bit, because you're basically progressing as a producer and you're becoming a bigger asset, not only for yourself but for other people that demand what you need. So demand what you provide. So anyway, again, it's DJ Fanatic Beats, content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com. Thanks for checking out the video. Peace and blessings. Happy Father's Day to the fathers. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on DJ Fanatic Beats on Instagram. That's PHANATSC, or Sounds for Producers on Instagram as well. Peace.